NBC Connecticut.
Welcome back to CT Live. There's an urgent need for foster parents right now, and here to tell us more about Community Health Resources Functional Family Therapy Foster Care Program is Nicole Crenshaw, Family Recruitment Supervisor for the program. So, May, Foster Care Awareness Month. It's so important for us to have this conversation. Can you kind of give us some scope and context of how, dire the need really is for families to support these children?
There's an immediate need. On any given day, there's at least approximately 4,000 kids in foster care throughout the state of Connecticut. So there's a need for foster parents across the entire state. We are focusing because it's extremely a big need in Windham County area, Willimantic, but across the state, we're looking for foster homes.
Yeah, and ultimately just trying to give these kids a place to land for their life right now. So let's talk about, potential foster families. Who makes a great foster family, a parent or, somebody, what stage of life?
All walks of lives. We look for at least 18 years of old or older, but you could be a single parent, you can be a two-parent household. We're looking for full-time foster parents as well as emergency. Instead of having a child bouncing from house to house each night, providing that stability. So even, I mentioned that there's 4,000 kids in foster care. You don't have to come in with the intention of taking, hundreds of kids, but just one. Going with the intention of saving one life makes a world of a difference. So coming in, whether it be full-time until they reunify with their families of origin or, if they transition onto adoption. But we're looking for families to either do full-time, respite, or emergency care.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really important to remember, it's kind of like all stages of life. You mentioned that they have to be 18 years or older. It could be a single family. It can be a, two-parent household. It can be an empty nester. If it's a parent whose children have already moved on, but you still have a space where you can give a kid a home, like this is a perfect opportunity. If somebody hears foster parent and they think it's a little daunting and they don't know where to start, what are some resources that you can give them?
So they can reach out to our agency to start the process. We have info sessions monthly, but once they begin the application process, we offer a extensive training where you learn the type of kids you're going to have, ways to manage behaviors because of the trauma or neglect that they've experienced. So they're not in it alone. And then once they come on board, they join our FFT foster care program, which is an evidence-based in-home model that provides a clinician, a case manager to support the family weekly as they navigate the challenges throughout life due to their trauma and neglect that they've experienced.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear that, you're not in it alone and you are making a significant difference in a child's life, and you don't have to do it just by yourself. There are people in a team to help you be successful. When you're placing a child in a family, in a foster situation, or, moving on from that, and they're going to be safe.
Absolutely.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing. We've had, one story that kind of comes to mind always is I have a teenager who was with one of our foster parents. She reunified, went back home with mom. She was probably 11th grade, and then her graduation came around. She invited our foster family to come with her, to see her, and she introduced everybody as, this is my mom, but this is my other mom. It's an extension of the family. You're not ever just fostering and then the child leaves. You're an extension, a part of their life, part of their life story, I should say. And that child, she invited the foster family to their graduation, still comes to visit throughout their lives, whether it be for Thanksgiving dinner, different, functions that they have to still remain connected.
Man, if that is an impact right there, I don't know what is. That's amazing, and it's so important to support these children. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and we're going to support as many of these kids as possible. You're just the best. Superhero. All right, CT Live moving right along right now. We've got our full forecast on deck.